Hi, I'm Sayona, and I'm excited to start this conversation today and keep the conversation going with our starting point. So glad you're here joining us. So if you are exploring faith, new to Christianity or to church, then it's probably the rules that are making you question whether faith has a place in your future. I'm curious, what are those rules that make you question if you will have a place? I remember for me in high school when I was exploring faith that there were a lot of unspoken rules that made me question if I would be accepted or not in church and in the youth group. And it was everything from the language I used, so cursing, what I wore, who I was dating, what I was doing on the weekends, and on that list went. And to be honest, I probably broke a lot of those rules and didn't meet the cut with them. And so I wondered, is this really for me? Will I really be able to become a Christian with my lifestyle that seemingly breaks all these rules? And all of these unspoken rules kept me at a distance from the church. So I would sit in the back of the church, and I maybe didn't take that next step of faith for a while. And I'm really glad that I didn't keep my distance from church, but I'm just wondering for you right now, maybe are there some rules that you just think maybe this one's too big, maybe church really isn't for me? Because we all know that it's not even our own rule breaking that keeps us at a distance, it's other people's rule breaking too. So often we see in the church that people are quick to break rules, they live hypocritically and even create religious loopholes or other things that they're not just squeaky clean, right? So we just have issues with rules and religion. And it makes me question, what is the relationship between rules and religion? And specifically with the Christian faith, what is the relationship between rules and the God who made this world and made you and me and created us out of love and goodness and beauty and wants something good for us? Is there a relationship between the two? And is there a starting place for us to talk about rules and religion in the Christian faith? So let's think for a moment and turn to a place that is pretty common when it comes to talking about rules in the Christian faith, and that's the 10 Commandments. So it's one of the oldest set of rules or laws from ancient civilization, probably the third oldest and most popular and well-known, written in 1446 BC, found in the Christian scriptures and Jewish scriptures as well. And so in Exodus 20, we have a list of rules, 10 rules. And in the scriptures, there are a lot more rules than this, but let's just stick with this for now. But before you actually read the rules, there is a sentence that is really important. It's the prelude, the beginning of these rules, and it actually explains the relationship between God and these rules and the people as well. So it says, God spoke these words. And this is from Exodus 20, a book in the Old Testament. God spoke these words, and he spoke them to Moses and to the people of Israel. And he said this, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. And so we just need to stop right there because first of all, something major was happening in context to this. Obviously, the Exodus event, if you've ever seen The Prince of Egypt, God frees the people of Israel who had been enslaved in Egypt for 400 years, does miracles to release them out of bondage from the hands of Pharaoh and in Egypt. And then out of that, he says, I am the Lord your God. And to that, you just, I'm in amazement because it's pretty much saying to these people, you have done nothing. I've done all of this for you because I love you, because you are my people and I am your God. And they must have been like, wait, we didn't do anything. We haven't followed the rules yet. What are the rules? Who are you? And so he declares who he is. I am the Lord your God. And it's almost like a birth story. And the rules that will come in the 10 Commandments are not a condition for the Israelites to follow to be in relationship with God, but they're a confirmation of their relationship with God. And so the relationship comes first. That's what we see in these 10 commandments. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of slavery. And then he goes on to say, have no other gods before me. Do not do this. And there, you know some of the rest of them. But the point is here that relationship comes before rules. And in this case, it's a family model of relating to rules. So the child is born first in love, and the rules come over time and help that child develop. And in a family model of relating, the rules are there to guide and to discipline. And there are consequences if rules are broken, but it doesn't get you kicked out of the family. There's another model that the world operates under when it comes to rules, and that is the club model. And the club model pretty much says that you have to agree to or follow all of these rules in order to get into the club or into the school or into this social membership. And you have to keep all the rules to stay in the club, and if you break the rules, then you're going to get kicked out of the club. And so in this club model, you see it in schools and, like I said, all the memberships and clubs. And sadly, you can see the club model operate in some families as well. So I'm curious to know for you, which have you experienced when it comes to faith or church, or what's your perception of church? Does it operate under the family model of relating to rules or the club model of relating to rules? And how you answer that question really will determine if you feel like you can belong in this place, in the church and in a place of faith. And if you answer the question and think of memories of church through the club model, it might be kind of painful that you experienced people either kicking you out of the church club or not accepting you into the church club. And for that, just want to say, I'm sorry, that's not the way God ever intended it to be. And so here we want to help provide a safe place for you to talk about who God really is and how with God, relationship always comes before rules. And with God, he's always desired that we would relate to him through a family model of relating and not through a club model of relating. And so we hope that we can create a safe place for you to talk about that, to think about that and process how that might have shaped your view of God. So I hope you see today that God has always desired the family model for us. And so I hope that you can keep this conversation going, jump in a starting point group, tune into the next one here on Malibu Plus, and we want to keep on journeying with you. So we'll see you next time.